My husband's family mocked the burnt scars on my face. Until weeks later, the same flames came for their son, too. He fell into the same fire and died on the spot. My name is Grace. I was 25 when I met Daniel. He was kind, gentle, and always made me laugh when the world felt too heavy. He said I was beautiful, even when I hid half my face behind my hair. Because beneath that hair was a scar. When I was a child, our kitchen caught fire. My mother had been boiling water when the gas cylinder exploded. She didn't make it out, but I did, barely. Half of my body was burned. My right arm, part of my face, my neck, all melted, twisted reminders of a day that stole my childhood. I spent years in the hospital, surgeries, skin grafts, stares from strangers who couldn't hide their pity. But Daniel never looked at me that way. When he said, "I love you," I believed it. For the first time, I felt like someone saw me, not the scars. When we got married, I thought I'd finally found peace. But peace doesn't last long in a house where you are not truly accepted. Daniel's family lived in the countryside, proud, traditional people. His mother was elegant, proper, obsessed with how things looked, and to her, I was an embarrassment. The first time I met her, she didn't hug me. She stared at my face and said, "Oh, the pictures didn't show that." Daniel squeezed my hand under the table, but the damage was done. Her words burned more than the fire ever did. In the months that followed, she would make small, cutting remarks. "Grace, maybe wear long sleeves. The children might get scared." Or, "Maybe you shouldn't cook. We wouldn't want your skin to peel into the food." They all laughed. And Daniel stayed silent. His sisters whispered things behind my back. His father avoided looking at me. They treated me like I was cursed, but I stayed quiet. Because I loved Daniel, and I didn't want to make him choose between me and his family. So I smiled through dinners that felt like interrogations. I hid my pain behind politeness. And at night, when Daniel slept, I'd go into the bathroom, stare at my reflection, and whisper, "You survived worse than this, Grace. You can survive this too," but deep down, I wasn't sure anymore. One Sunday, Daniel's family hosted a big family gathering. Cousins, uncles, everyone. They asked me to help in the kitchen. While I was frying meat, his sister walked in and said, "Careful, Grace. We wouldn't want you to start another fire." Everyone in the room laughed. My hands shook so much that I dropped the spatula, and that's when Daniel's mother said it. "I still don't understand why my son married you." With that face, he could have done much better. For the first time in my life, I didn't cry. I just turned off the stove, washed my hands, and said, "You're right." Maybe he could have. Then I walked out. That night, Daniel found me sitting outside, looking at the moon. He said, "You embarrassed my mother today." I looked at him, speechless. He continued, "She was just joking, Grace. Why do you always take everything so seriously?" I smiled bitterly. "Because, Daniel," I said softly, "some jokes leave bruises you can't see." He sighed, said nothing, and walked away. That was the night I stopped trying to belong. Weeks passed. I avoided family gatherings. I focused on work, on healing, on surviving the silence in my marriage. Until one evening the phone rang. It was his mother, hysterical. "Grace, come quickly! It's Daniel!" My heart froze. When I reached the hospital, I couldn't breathe. Daniel was lying on a bed, covered in burns, his face swollen, his arms wrapped in gauze. He'd been trapped in a factory fire at work. He had burns across the same side of his face as mine. I stood there, trembling. I couldn't move. His mother fell to her knees, sobbing, "Oh, God, why him?" And I wanted to scream. Why me? Why now? Why does it take pain to make people see? But I didn't. I just walked to his bedside and held his unburned hand. He opened his eyes weakly and whispered, "Grace, now I understand." I'm sorry. I pressed his hand to my face and said, "Don't be sorry. Just live." But he didn't. Daniel died 3 days later. At his funeral, his mother couldn't stop crying. She clung to me and said, "I mocked your scars, Grace, but now my son wears them too." I'll never forgive myself, and for the first time, I cried. Not for her, not even for Daniel. I cried for the years I spent begging for acceptance, when I was already enough. Now, every morning, I stand by the window and trace the scars on my skin. They no longer make me hide, because I've realized the fire that scarred me also saved me. It showed me the truth about people. It taught me that beauty fades, but cruelty, that's what burns deepest. Moral of the story, now I know. Some scars don't just stay on your skin, they live inside your heart. Never be ashamed of your scars. They are not proof of weakness, but survival.